The ruler told Moses and Aaron, "This is a necessity of the law that the master has instructed. Advise the Israelites to present to you a red yearling without imperfection or flaw and that has never been under a burden. This will be an enduring mandate both for the Israelites and for the outsiders living among them." Numbers chapter 19 verses 1–2, 10. The red yearling and the third sanctuary in end-time Prof. All through just about 1,900 years of exile, the Jewish public longed to get back to Israel, fabricate the third sanctuary in Jerusalem and re-establish the sanctuary administration. 3 times each day, perceptive Jews implore, "May the heavenly sanctuary be revamped expediently and in our day, have." Albeit Jewish individuals have consistently lived in the sacred land, after the Holocaust the Jews started getting back to Israel altogether. In 1948, the Jewish country was prophetically renewed, Isaiah chapter 66 verses 7–8, as the province of Israel, and since Jews have been gushing back to the land from each of the 4 corners of the earth. Starting around 1967, there has been a development in Israel to reconstruct the Blessed Sanctuary. In any case, the primary hindrance is that the sanctuary mount is as of now involved by the vault of the stone. Chabad Lubavitch Jewish men assist a common Jewish man with putting on tefillin for petitions at a table put away for that reason in Jerusalem. Tefillin are the consequence of a strict understanding of Deuteronomy chapter 6 verse 8 in different sections like it. Tie them as images on all 4s them on your temples. The crate on the brow contains stanzas of sacred writing. Similarly as the regathering of the Jewish public is satisfaction of Book of Scripture's prediction, so too is the structure of the third heavenly sanctuary. He will raise a flag for the countries and assemble the exiles of Israel. He will gather the dispersed individuals of Judah from the 4/4 of the earth. Isaiah chapter 11 verse 12. See likewise Jeremiah chapter 23 verse 3, 8. Ezekiel chapter 28 verse 25. Ezekiel chapter 11 verse 17. Zechariah chapter 10 verses 6–12. Song 147–2. The magnificence of this present, a Karen, last house will be more noteworthy than the brilliance of the previous house, says the Master, YHVH, all-powerful. Furthermore, in this spot I will give harmony, announces the Master, YHVH, all-powerful. Haggai chapter 2 verse 9. Today, large numbers of the arrangements for the third sanctuary have previously been finished, including the sacrosanct love vessels and consecrated pieces of clothing to be worn by the Levites in sanctuary administrations. Also, more than 500 youthful Jewish men, dropped from the clan of Levi, have been prepared as sanctuary ministers to satisfy their obligations of love and penance in the sanctuary. Be that as it may, the sanctuary administration can't start without the para aduma, red yearling. What does a cow have to do with the revamping of the heavenly sanctuary? How should a basic creature assume a fundamental part in the achievement or disappointment of such a stupendous occasion? God's assertion expresses that the red calf can re-establish the scriptural immaculateness expected to revamp the sanctuary. Then, at that point, Eleazar the minister is to take a portion of its red heifer blood on his finger and sprinkle it multiple times toward the front of the tent of meeting. Numbers chapter 19 verse 4. The cinders of the red calf and custom virtue. A man who is tidy will get together the cinders of the calf and put them in a ritualistically clean spot outside the camp. They are to be saved by the Israelite people group for use in the water of purifying. It is for purging from transgression. Numbers chapter 19 verse 9. As per the sanctuary foundation, the association committed to planning for the development of the third sanctuary in Jerusalem, these purging waters. For cleaning from transgression. Numbers chapter 19 verse 9. As per the sanctuary foundation, the association committed to planning for the development of the third sanctuary in Jerusalem, these purging waters are important to customarily filter the sanctuary mount region, the holy vessels, and the whole Levitical ministry that are being ready for administration today. The waters of blessing were likewise sprinkled onto every one of the people who were unclean, and many were first decontaminated in this cycle prior to entering the courts of the sanctuary. You should keep the Israelites separate from things that make them messy, so they won't kick the bucket in that frame of mind for polluting my residence, which is among them. Leviticus chapter 15 verse 31. Jewish grievers heifer Jewish grievers. Any contact with death, in any event, venturing into a burial ground, causes pollution. The Book of Scriptures gives however one answer for this sort of debasement, and that arrangement is the remains of the red yearling.
Conditions might cause custom debasement or contamination, yet quite possibly of the most extreme come through openness to death. Pollution from contact with death is called tumos mes. This condition of messiness endured 7 days and kept. Albeit different techniques might be utilized to purge an individual from different types of debasement, like custom water drenching, mikveh. The cinders of the red calf is the main solution for the pollution that outcomes from contact with a carcass.
The Jewish sages believe that when the Messiah comes, he will stand on top of the roof of the temple and proclaim, "Humble ones. The time of your redemption has arrived." The Temple Institute. To play out the creature blood forfeits that make reparation for transgression. Along these lines, blood penance is presently not a point of convergence in Judaism. The spotlight has been placed on doing noble cause, great deeds, and petition for around 1,942 years. That is quite a while. What's more, that is the reason the idea of blood expiation is a long way from the Jewish public.
This is one reason why it's challenging for Jewish individuals to interface the messianic prediction of Isaiah 53 and the idea of the blood expiation for the absolution of wrongdoing with Savior Yeshua's passing on the execution stake. However, it was the ruler's will to crush him and influence him to endure, and however the Master makes his life a contribution for wrongdoing. He spilled out his life unto demise, and was numbered with the offenders. For he bore the wrongdoing of many, and made. The red heifer itself prophetically points to Yeshua, Jesus, the Messiah, and his death on the execution stake. He who was perfect, unblemished, and sinless took upon himself the sins of the world so that we could become the righteousness of God. 2 Corinthians 5 verse 21. Similarly, as the red yearling was butchered external the camp, so was Yeshua butchered external the city of Jerusalem. Jews 13:12. The Book of Jews affirms that it's through the blood of Yeshua the Savior that we might be decontaminated from our wrongdoings in general. The blood of goats and bulls and the remains of a yearling sprinkled on the individuals who are formerly messy purify them so they are obviously spotless. The amount more, then, at that point, will the blood of Savior, who through the timeless soul offered himself unsullied to God, purge our hearts from acts that lead to death, so we might serve the living God. Jews 9:14.
The Book of Jews affirms that it's through the blood of Yeshua the Savior that we might be sanitized from our wrongdoings as a whole.